Fnaf will explain in Minecraft 3, 2, 1, go. A guy named William Afton, who's from England, lives in a town called Hurricane with his wife and kids. He meets a fella named Henry Emily, and they become good friends. William and Henry later opened a family diner that sold pizza, but the main attraction was these two animatronics that can either be an animatronic or can spin lock to suits that people can wear. William wore the Bonnie suit while Henry wore the Freddy suit. The family diner was so successful, they decided to open up another branch called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, with the four animatronics named Bonnie, Chica, Freddy, and Foxy. Little did we know, William Afton is actually crazy and psychotic. Knowing that fact, Henry created an animatronic called the Puppet to protect his daughter, Charlie. One day, in Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Henry's daughter, Charlie, gets locked outside the pizzeria, while the puppet is stuck in his box. And as William pulls into the driveway, he ends up murdering Charlie and dragging her into the alley. The puppet finally escapes out of the box, goes outside to find Charlie, only to find her dead. Charlie's spirit now inhabits the puppet, is now possessed by Charlie's spirit, and Henry lost his only child. Let's take a look at William Afton's family. He has 2 sons and a daughter, but let's focus on his sons. The younger son is Evan, or the crying child. The older son is Michael. Evan is terrified of the animatronics. And Michael knows that. He then takes advantage of it. On Evan's birthday, Michael, the older brother, decides to carry Evan near the mouth of the animatronic version of Freddy to give him a big kiss. Evan is inside the animatronic's mouth. The death of William's son was all it took for him to go completely insane. He then lures 5 children into the safe room, dressed up as Spring Bonnie, from which he then kills them all. Where's the body at? Well, inside the 4 suits. And because of this, no one was able to find any evidence of the children. The other one was stuffed into a golden Freddy suit. Now we have 6 kids that possess animatronics. Shortly after this, William Afton gets fired and the restaurants shut down. William Afton then makes a new company called Afton Robotics, specifically designed to murder kids. Well, that sounds kind of fucked up. Why did he do this? William Afton discovered a way to become immortal using Remnant. When the kids die, they release a material called Remnant, which bonds your soul into something. That's basically what happened to the 5 kids. He then creates Circus Baby, who was able to lure children in with an ice cream and then crush them inside her stomach.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her?
Elizabeth, William Afton's daughter, is at a private party to unveil the new location in the franchise. Elizabeth then gets too close to Circus Baby. Now, because of the incident, the Circus Baby's pizza was officially shut down due to a quote-unquote gas leak. You remember this guy, right? William Afton's son? Since William Afton is a great father, he sent his son to locate and free the soul of Elizabeth. Michael Afton was doing surprisingly well, until the 4th night, where the technicians are instructed to scoop out the shells of the animatronics and take their salvageable endoskeletons. Soon enough, all of the animatronics get scooped. Then they all combine their parts of their endoskeletons into some weird animatronic known as Ennard. And it turns out, Baby's true intentions were to scoop the living fuck out of Michael's organs and make some room for Ennard to chill inside of Michael's body. Michael gets scooped and all the remnant in his body keeps his soul alive, whilst Ennard makes his way inside of Michael's rotting corpse to escape the facility. Eventually, we realize that Michael's body slowly ends up rotting due to him basically being a walking corpse. A few days later, Ennard ends up escaping outside of Michael's body into a sewer system. And just when you think he's dead, he gets reanimated back to life. Now that Michael has freed Elizabeth, His new goal is to find William Afton because he wants to kill him. But then, William Afton decides to go to the original abandoned location to eviscerate all of the old animatronics, for I don't fucking know why. But unbeknownst to William, he just awoken the spirits of the children in a physical form. The spirits all gather up to scare William. However, in the safe room lies in the very suit that William Afton used to kill these children. He puts on the suit, he laughs, he got crushed. Really crushed. His corpse just laid there for a while until some lobotomite decided to reopen the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise as a horror attraction. I have no fucking clue what was going through their minds. When they do this, William decides to become alive again and stalks his heir for a week. After 1 week was passed, the building was on fire, with the reason being unknown. Springtrap or William is still alive despite the fire. It's possible it could have been Micheal to set the fire in an attempt to try and kill William Afton, but we don't know. However, he didn't escape without significant damage, as now he has to repair himself a little bit. Well, Baby was ejected from this and ends up having to piece herself together into Scrap Baby, while the rest of Ennard dons a Freddy mask to become Molten Freddy. Henry, William Afton's friend, whose daughter became the puppet, in all of these grief, Henry steps in to finally devise a plan to end it all. He opens up a new pizzeria under Freddy's franchise to gain attention of the roaming animatronics, including Michael Afton, who still wants to find William. Michael ends up getting the security job, and remember, he still looks like his father here. Henry creates an animatronic to capture his daughter. The animatronic is called Lefty. And little by little, Mike collects every single one of them into the facility, all according to Henry's plan. And on the final night, we finally get to hear Henry.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed.
Henry's plan was to gather all the animatronics to one place in order to burn them, freeing their souls. He tells Mike, the volunteer, that there was a way for him to get out, but he feels that Mike might want to die here. Henry obliterates the building, killing all the animatronics ever, including Mike himself, and of course, William Afton, where his soul is presumably forever tortured by all the animatronics. We finally get a peaceful ending. All loose ends finally tied together. It said that before William died, he uploaded himself virtually onto binary code, and when they develop a virtual Fnaf experience, William's conscious enters through the code and is now in the virtual game.
So where would shit no stop. Okay. Whoa, wait, fuck!
He's able to use this power to slowly take over people's bodies. William ends up fighting a host named Vanessa to take control of, using her to create an alter ego called Vanny, which William can take control of. Shortly after, a new Fnaf mall was created. In this mall, 9 children are missing. Our main cast is Glamrock Chica, Freddy, Roxy, and this alligator. These animatronics are in some way controlled by William Afton. Anyways, Glamrock Freddy ends up malfunctioning on stage because he is exempt from being controlled by William, and he malfunctions. He wakes up only to spot Gregory, some homeless kid. Now, some people assume that Gregory is an animatronic because how his vision glitches when he sees Vanny. Freddy and Gregory work together and end up stealing parts of animatronics to make Freddy stronger. To do this, they throw Chica into their trash compactor, killing the alligator Monty, and then committing homicide on the fox. They end up exploring underneath the complex to find a replica restaurant, where they find a blob. Creature has the souls of what seems like many animatronics. William Afton out of nowhere wants to resume his favorite hobby, and that's killing children. That's the reason why he wants to control all the animatronics, just to murder children. After an epic fight, Gregory and Glamrock Freddy end up burning the entire complex. And right as William Afton is about to catch Gregory and Glamrock Freddy, William Afton is captured by the blob. The complex ends up getting shut down, and that's the end. That's it.